Hey everyone, thanks for joining us today and taking the time out of your day to find out about Google advertising. This is a new module we've just added to Metigy in our quest to help you do your marketing better and simpler. And I'm really glad you've taken the time to come and join us and learn about this vast topic. Now, my name's Greg and I'm one of the co-founders here at Metigy. Today, we're going to be talking about Google Ads and how Metigy has addressed the number one challenge facing SMEs that want to start using them. And that's the complexity of creating and running a successful Google Ads campaign. Anyone that's tried them can see how powerful Google Ads are and how much power is in there, but it's been built for the power user who has the time to learn and understand the depth of options. And obviously that brings a lot of complexity to it. What we've worked on at Metigy is to address these challenges using our AI recommendation technology to really simplify that flow. And we've wrapped it up in a beautiful interface which makes it really simple for you to master them. I'm also joined by Alex, who is a strategic partner manager at Google Australia.
Hi everyone, thanks so much for having me. My name is Alex, I'm working at the Google Australia office. I've been at Google for almost 6 years already, and in my current role, I work with local companies like Metigy that help provide the advantages and the benefits of Google Ads into local businesses in Australia and New Zealand.
And we've been lucky enough to have the support of Google while we work on this module, which has been excellent, which is why I've asked Alex to come and give you some more background on this topic, because we know Google Ads can be really quite complex the first few times you do it. Now, by the end of this presentation, you will know about the power of using Metigy and Google Ads to grow your business and generate more leads and sales for your business, and also how to get started with your first Google Ads campaign within Metigy. This is a project that we've worked very closely with Google on, and we believe that it's the next evolution of where marketing is going, using tools like Metigy, going for the multi-channel approach to promote your business in multiple places. I've asked Alex to come and educate you on the benefits of Google Ads, as it can be really complicated, and if you've not used it before, we've really worked to try and simplify the process of creating those ads, because there is a whole depth to Google that you just cannot touch unless you are an expert. And what we've done is combining that with our best-in-class AI decision support technology to try and give you those recommendations without having to know all of that knowledge. So what I'm going to do is hand over to Alex, who's going to talk through some of the benefits of running Google Ad campaigns.
That's right, thanks so much, Greg. I'll tell you happily more about Google Ads and what are the benefits that you as a business can have when using Google Ads campaigns. Well, I'll start with this interesting statistic. At Google, we very often talk to many businesses in Australia to understand their pain points, challenges, and some of the opportunities they have. It was very interesting and surprising for me to see the results from the recent study that show that as many as 68% of small businesses wish there was an easy-to-use tool to help them advertise their products and services. So at Google, we continuously try to make our products easier to navigate and to run smoothly. But to your earlier point, we hear very often that sometimes things are just a little bit too complex and you don't necessarily know how to move step by step to create successful ads. And you might require prior knowledge to set up successful campaigns. And that is why at Google we believe that it's best for businesses if they surround themselves by trusted partners who can show them how to navigate through that complex digital ecosystem. And that is also why I'm here today with Metigy, who just launched a Google Ads solution on their Metigy platform. By helping small and medium businesses embark on their digital advertising journey, we can directly influence their revenue growth and performance. Connected Small Businesses study shows that small and medium businesses that used advanced digital tools such as Google advertising or data analysis experience nearly 4 times higher revenue growth than less digitally savvy businesses. What's more, they also have as much as 6 times higher employment growth and are almost 3 times as likely to create more jobs. Those are really wonderful insights that show that digitally savvy SMBs are significant drivers for economic growth, job creation, and new innovation. The stats that you can see right now in front of your eyes, I think, are very insightful and something that makes us proud to work at Google, which show that the impact that we as Google Australia have on local businesses. So based on the latest Google Economic Impact Report, we can see that Google advertising tools have so far generated 32 billion in business benefit for more than 1 million businesses across Australia. So those are benefits to you as a business that you can get from using our tools.
Huge, and again, you can know that we're committed to helping SMBs as well, so that's why this is a great partnership we've got in place here, because we really want to help you do all these things amazingly.
That's right, and that's very inspirational because we can see the actual impact that our tools can have on the local economy. Well, and on top of that, Google Search, Grants and Advertising tools helped connect more than 1.1 million businesses and nonprofits in Australia. That's also pretty significant. Yeah. Well, so let me tell you more what is Google Ads and how you can use it as a business. In very simple words, Google Ads is an Google online advertising program that you can use to connect with people that use our products, such as Google Search, YouTube, or they are browsing on the internet. What are some of the benefits that you as a business can get from advertising on Google? I think we chatted about it earlier. That's one of the main questions we always get. And I'm very happy to show you what are the benefits you can get from Google campaigns. Google is where people search for what to do, where to go, and what to buy. I'm sure that you all have done a Google search in the past, so you're familiar with what I'm talking about. Google Ads lets you create effective ads and service them to people who are searching online for information and the products or services you offer as a business. Your Google ad appears on the Google search results page at the very moment someone is looking for products and services like yours. Businesses like you advertise on Google to grow interest in their offerings, be present at the moment of intent to buy, and re-engage with existing customers. Well, what do I mean when I say intent to buy? Well, think about a situation that your house just got flooded. What do? Chances are high that you will go to Google and you will look for plumbers that can help you with your flooded house. And that's what millions of people in Australia and globally do, which shows that Google is a powerful place that can help you connect as a business with your potential customers for people that are looking for you, regardless if they are on your mobile phone or if they are on their laptop. That is why I put it as number one benefit from using Google Ads, which is the ability to reach the right customers in the right time when they are looking for your business. You might ask me, okay, well, how does Google know how to reach the right person for my business? And Google prides itself in having the strongest intent signals in the marketplace. Our solutions are informed by 7 products, which you can see on the screen from left to right, from Google Search to Google Gmail. And those are products that are used by over 1 billion people globally every month. So Google understands the context and therefore can learn from the users that move between those different products. This enables us to connect you with the right audience and that we know their life stage, their life patterns, their purchasing behavior, and their intent to buy, which is really beneficial to you as a business. What are some other benefits from using Google Ads? Well, after you acquired your initial customers, it's also very important to continue engaging with them and create loyalty. With Google Ads, you can reach your customers with special offers, tailored messaging to grow their lifetime value for you and for them as a customer. And last but not least, also very important, Google Ads helps you drive meaningful results so you can focus on your own business. And it's important for me to highlight here that with Google Ads, you only pay if someone clicks on your ads. What that means is that Google passes qualified leads to you as a business, and you only pay if someone showed an interest in what you're offering. It's also good to mention, I think this is something that you will love, that when you want to advertise on Google, you don't have to have a set budget. There's no minimum spending budget requirement. Your Google Ads can work with any budget, no matter if it's small or big, and you can make it work for you and your business. You can also track the tangible results on Google. You can decide to optimize your campaign to drive more phone calls for your business. Let's say if you're a local plumber or a florist, if you want to drive more sales, so if you're selling products online, or if you want to generate store visits, if you are, let's say, a local company, local hairdresser that cares about people coming into your business.
And I think that's probably what you just said on that last slide is where people get really quite overwhelmed with the power of Google, because there's so many things you just said. And what we've really tried to work on is helping you with what to do, when to do it, and then how to optimize it once it's running so you don't have to think about it as much. So that's where the AI on our side comes in to help actually running those campaigns and creating those campaigns especially.
That's right, fully agree. Well, to quickly summarize of what we were talking about, 3 main benefits of Google Ads that I believe are very important for you to know is number 1, the ability to reach new clients. Number 2, engage with those clients and grow loyalty. And last but not least, track results and make sure that your Google campaigns are delivering the ROI that you are looking for.
And then we're going to take that one step further and make sure it fits into the rest of what you're doing, because we're obviously an omni-channel platform, so it fits in perfectly with that strategy.
That's right.
All right, thank you for that, Alex.
Thank you.
We're going to go and do a demonstration of the platform now to go through and see what we've done and give you some of insights into how it's working. Here we are in the ads management homepage, and you can see I'm showing you the Metigy account where we've got some ads running at the moment. We can see we've got some active ones here. We've got a couple that are in state that are probably being reviewed at the moment or have been rejected for whatever reason. And we can see how much we've been investing per day, how many clicks, how many impressions we've got. We've got a couple that are performing rather well, I think. We've got one there with 714 clicks and 79,857 impressions. That shows you how much you can get in front of your audience on Google. Right. So let's start by creating a new ad. And we've made this really simple. Now, I will say this is a Google Ads platform, but you can see we're planning to add other platforms here. Now, we're going to start by clicking on Start with Google. And on the right here, we will be giving you recommendations and tips on what you should be doing at this point. So we'll click Start. If you haven't got an ads account, this will ask you to connect up at this point. And here we can see our goals. So we've got increasing web visits, promoting brand awareness, which were 2 of the things that Alex was talking about. And then conversion and sales will be coming very, very soon. If not, they're here already by the time you watch this video. So I'm going to choose website visits for the time being. And then I'm just going to choose Google search ads, because I think that's probably the one people are most familiar with at this point. But if you want to do Google display ads, it's a really simple process, very, very similar. We've tried to make it as familiar as possible to you, and it fits with the rest of the Metigy ecosystem in terms of the usability and UX. Actually,
the best is to have both, because they might cater for different goals. So you might start with the search one and then add a display one after that.
That's a very good tip. So then moving forward onto the creative. And now this is where things get interesting with Google. Now for this particular keyword, we've got 3 headlines, 2 descriptions, and a URL. And as you can see in the preview on the right, this is what this ad's going to look like. So I'm just going to put in title 1, or we'll put in Metigy as the first title. We'll do marketing tools, and we'll do Google Ads as the
And I love it that you can see it straight after how the ad will look like. I think it's something that everyone that creates a Google ad for the first time, they want to know, okay, like how things will look. So this is great.
I think one thing that's really important and powerful to mention here as well is you see this plus that's come up next to the titles. We can actually add another headline in, and this is one of the really powerful things Google does. Is if we put a second one in here saying Google search ads, for example, what Google will actually do is start to run what are called variants of your ad to actually try and find which combinations work best. So you'll actually get even better value out of Google by running these variants to say, they'll try serving it. And if they see one is running better than the other, that will get served more.
That's right. That's the benefit of the machine learning that we use within Google Ads, all in an effort to make sure that we choose the titles and headlines that are performing best for you.
And again, we're going to be adding in our own AI recommendations as well to enhance that further before you actually even create the ad. So you start to see the power of the combination of the two tools working here. So I'll just put in a small description here. I'm going to be lazy.
Very creative.
I know. It's one of those, like I could sit here and write a long sentence, but I'm not going to because we're recording this live. And then we'll put our URL in. So we'll do HTTPS Metigy.com as our target, and we can see that's all built up on the right there perfectly. So and we can see the two variants there of how it's going to look in different channels.
Mobile and desktop. Yes, just wanted to say that the final URL is where you would like your user to land after clicking the ad.
Yeah, so for example, if we wanted you to go and see the Google Ads page on Metigy, you'd go to metigy.com/product/Google Ads. As we move down page here, we then get to our keywords, and this is again somewhere where we're going to be really enhancing what we offer you. But a couple of tips here, reading that, you can type a keyword or a website address to start this, and that's really, really important. So if I put in metigy.com, we'll actually get back some keywords that are related to our website, and this is what Google understands about the Metigy website, which is again very powerful, and you can really align your campaign with how Google understands you. And that's something Alex was talking about, was you really have to think about how your ad relates to your website and your content, and make sure you're getting the relevant parts. So if you use a specific landing page, these keywords would be different.
That's right. Yes, so you can just pick and choose those that you believe are most relevant, and you can also add your own keywords if you don't see that particular keyword suggested by Google.
So let's put in digital marketing, because that's a very important word for our industry. And we can see as we type, it starts to make some suggestions going through. Here we can see the keywords that have come up around that key phrase. So why digital marketing, marketing strategy, those are all things we want to help you with. So let's put that in. Marketing strategy, why a digital media strategy, and that's very important. As we were saying, a lot of people don't realize the power of doing that local advertising, so I think we need to help people on that, because we do see a lot of people coming to our website as well saying, why should I do this? As we can see, here's our words that have appeared. That's great. I think we're ready to move on to the next step. So this is where we choose what we call the audience, and what we've tried to do here is combine things that you tend to think of as a user as to who your audience is, so where they are, the demographics they fit into, and what languages they speak. One difference between the keywords one and the display ads is you also get interests, and the reason for that is that's Google needs that to actually align your ad to the websites you're visiting, so it's based around interests at that point. So let's type in a location we want to go to. I want to target Sydney. And then we can see first result, Sydney, New South Wales, perfect. And I want to exclude a region, and this is very important as well. So if you're running a campaign where you want to target a specific geographical area, but you know that, perhaps you're competing with someone who's in a specific part of that area, and you don't want to try and outbid them because you know they're doing something that might make your ad more expensive, we can exclude that area.
Right. Also, if you're a local business that operates only within Surrey Hills, let's say, you can really narrow your targeting to make sure you're reaching all the local customers, because that's what will make your advertising effective and will bring the best results for you.
Absolutely. I think that goes back to your flower example
That's
earlier
right.
on. Flower shop in Surrey Hills. And then we can start to choose what the demographics are. So we want to say male, female, and you will know your audience, and we will be working to give you some recommendations around who you want to target. And one thing to remember here is it's actually good to do testing at this point. If you think your demographic's one, sometimes it's worth trying a different one just to try that shift. And again, that's where we want to hold your hand and help you make those decisions going forward. Again, I'm just going to leave that as it is for now and move on to the next step, which is what we call investment. And this is how much you're going to put into Google to run this campaign. Now, we have it set as a default of $5. Going to cost you $35 a week to run this campaign. And you have a couple of options here. Now, we can say I want to run, say, $10 a day. That would give you, that's not an unreasonable amount. Now, you can go up to thousands of dollars a day if you've got that budget. You can go as little as $1 a day if you want, but we wouldn't advise that one.
Yeah, I think that a lot of people that start creating their first ad, they are very tempted to put $1 or as little as possible. But keep in mind that our Google campaigns need data to optimize. So $1 budget per day might only last you for one keyword, so one click from a person. That's not enough to optimize your campaigns and to make sure you're taking the full advantage of the system.
And I will say one thing here as well, which is the first couple of days you might see it go over your daily budget. And the reason for that is, as Alex said, it's the machine learning how your ad fits into the massive Google ecosystem. But you'll find over time it will normalize out and you won't have, it'll work out as your budget per day.
Right. I think important to mention, in our systems we look at the monthly budget. So within the monthly budget you will never spend more than what you were planning, but on a certain day the budget can go up to 20% more, and then obviously if it goes 20% more on Monday, then it might go lower on Tuesday or Wednesday to obviously balance it out.
Yeah. And we can change this as well to say, how much do I want to invest in total? So you might want to run a $100 campaign, and you can set your end date there of say, I'm going to run one for 2 weeks. $100, 2 weeks, it's going to cost me about $10 a day. It's not unreasonable, it goes back to what we just had. I think that's a good choice, so we'll go with that for this ad. Now, this is important. You can say, Google can manage the cost of my click, or you can set it yourself. Google does a really good job of managing your click to get the good value. If you want to try and set the cost yourself, you can. We will say it takes a bit of practice to get that right. And again, we want to help you with that. And we'll advise you over time if we think you should set a top click. But on the whole, Google's machine learning does a fantastic job. They've put so much effort into making sure those things are optimized to help you.
Right. Well, one thing we need to remember is that for every ad that you create and for every keyword that your client might enter, the ad enters an ad auction. So there is certain bid for every keywords that, let's say, became normal for that particular query, and you might need to do a little bit of a research prior to know what's that cost per click. Are we talking about $1 or $5? So if you don't necessarily know that, my recommendation would be to go with the automated solution, as Google has that information and will optimize your bids and make them most realistic to enter the ad auction.
Yeah, that's a really good advice. And again, we want to help give you some recommendations around your keywords and your bids and things like that to say, we think, this is typically how your bid performs. But it's actually a really good point is around keywords change value over time as well. So, for example, in summertime, a tropical holiday might go up in price quite considerably, and it suddenly becomes a less appealing keyword to target. So we want to help you in controlling those words as well and make sure you get some good value out of your budget. Now let's move on to the next step, which is review. So we can see everything we've put in here. So we've got our $10 a day. Here's our preview. We can click through this and see the variants we've put in. We can actually then say, yep, here's our time frame running for about 2 weeks. That's good. Our demographics, and at any point here we can click edit and adjust those again if we weren't happy. Now let's give it a name here. So Google Ads Demo. That's good. Now if I hit go live at this point, that will submit this ad to Google for review, or you can hit save, which will put it back into your ads list as a draft, meaning you can come back and make changes and decide when you want it to go live. You can actually set the go live and get it reviewed from Google and then pause it as well, which is important to know. So you can actually get it reviewed, ready to go, and then pause it.
That's right.
So it's not actually running until you really want to. And that's a good tactic if you think, if it's the first time you've done this, or you want to make sure that you don't have that delay when your marketing campaign goes live on Monday, for example. So let's hit save here, and then we'll just go back to the list and we'll see our Google Ads demo is there now, ready, it's in draft. We can finish that and submit it to Google to go live. Let's go and have a look at one of these campaigns now that's been running. So let's have a look at the ad performance on this one. We can see we've had 714 clicks, 80,000 impressions, and it's cost us $207. That's not bad. That's not doing too badly, that campaign. There's a bit of room to optimize in there, but $291 per 1,000 clicks. We're not doing terribly there. And then we can see over here, and this is what I was saying about the Google machine learning as well. You can see there's a bit more activity at the start, then it dips, and then it starts to sit kind of level as it goes through. And that's the machine learning how your ad performs. That's a really important thing to know about Google Ads. And you can see how we can filter through some of the other metrics in the system, impressions, investments, and we'll work to surface the things you really need to know as insights for you to understand how your ad's performing.
Right, and one thing I do want to mention here is that give your ad campaign time to optimize, right? It's very crucial. Give it 3 to 4 weeks before you assess if Google Ads are performing the way you wanted it. Don't make changes every day because as we mentioned, Google algorithms would need that additional time to know who is the best customer for you to show the ad to.
Yeah, and in line with not tinkering with your ad too much, here's the edit page. But what we've tried to do again here is simplify down to, you can see what things you can edit, so you can adjust your daily bid if you want to. If you think, there's no harm in actually adjusting your bid at any point during the campaign, that's not so bad. It's more if you change the whole thing, your keywords, your targeting starts to screw with how the ad will actually work.
Yeah, that's your budget, right?
Yes.
Yeah, daily investment account.
So as we go in here, we can see you can actually go down to quite a granular level in Google, and you can actually adjust your bid on each word. So you can adjust it, increase or decrease it by a percentage. And that's again an important thing to note. If you find that perhaps you're getting too much of an audience from somewhere you didn't really want it, you can actually you can decrease your bid, for example, for that area to get less of that traffic, to get more of your budget into the other bits you do want, for example. And that works at a keyword level, a demographic level, location level, lots of levels. We've tried to make it as simple as possible for you to manage that in here. And again, we'll be adding AI throughout the platform to actually tell you what we think you should be doing to optimize this on top of what Google's optimizing it.
That's right.
I think that wraps up our run through of the platform there. We've covered everything we need to show of it working. So I really hope you enjoyed seeing that.
Thank you.
Really hope you enjoyed that run through of the platform. I'm going to hand over to Alex now, who I've asked to give just a couple of tips on creating compelling ads, because as we said, there's a few things and tricks here. And as you can see from the platform, we're going to be adding more and more features to help you with that process to get more out of it. So, Alex.
Yeah, thank you, Greg, and thanks for showing us the live version of Google Ads in the Metigy platform. We're all very excited about it, and I'm happy to tell you a little bit more how to create successful ads. Well, so let's start with the basics. When you advertise with Google Ads, your ads can appear on different places across the web, depending how you focus your ads, to whom you choose to show your ads, and what types of ads you want to create. Our job at Google is to make sure that you are armed with the best tools to help you plan, create, target, measure, and optimize your Google campaigns. I'll provide now a high-level overview of search campaigns and display campaigns, as those are the two types of campaigns that are currently available on the Metigy platform. But don't you worry, video advertising on YouTube is also coming up soon, which we're also very excited about.
We've got some big plans there.
Great. Well, let's start with Google search. So you are probably most familiar with this type of an ad if you have ever done a Google search before. Search ads appear next to Google search results when people look for products or services. Building your first search ad can take just a few minutes. The backbone of every well-performing search campaign are the keywords. Keywords are words or phrases you can choose when you set up your Google Ads campaigns. Those are the terms you think your potential customers are likely to use when searching for your business. Selecting high-quality, relevant keywords for your advertising campaign can help you reach the customers you want. When a customer searches for a term that matches your keyword, your ad enters an ad auction to determine if Google ad system will actually show your ad. The cost of each keyword will be different depending on the quality of your keyword, your competition in the auction, and many other factors. Make sure your keywords and landing page are all closely related to the terms that customers might be searching for.
And we were actually just talking about this before the webinar. This is a very big area. There's tips and tricks. I learned something from Alex I didn't know about something, and we were talking about some strategies. So again, we're going to be doing a lot of work in our Metigy learning articles and profiles and webinars like this to actually help you understand those things. But more importantly, we're going to be building that into the AI in the platform to help you get the absolute most, make sure everything in your system is set up to solve these problems.
That's right. Cool, thank you. Well, let me give you a few examples so you can actually see how it works within the Google Ads platform. So let's say you deliver fresh flowers. So for fresh flowers shop, you can use keywords such as fresh flower delivery paired with some other keywords. Let's say fresh delivery flower near me or florist near me. When someone searches on Google using a phrase fresh flowers, your ad will appear on the Google search results, helping you connect with that customer. Remember, again, choosing high quality keywords and relevant keywords for your advertising campaigns can help you reach the customers you want. And be sure to invest in keywords that are producing results for you. If after you started your campaign and gave it enough time to optimize, let's say 3 to 4 weeks, you see that your keywords are not bringing you the results you want, you can always change them. You can delete them, you can tweak them, you can add new keywords. So don't get discouraged if you don't know yet much about the keywords. It's all about testing and trialing and making sure that at the end we choose the keywords that will work for you. And for that, we probably will need some time to first learn.
I think as well on that one, we're going to be adding a lot into Metigy to help manage your keywords across different platforms as well, especially feeding into the Google platform. And as you say, you really need to hone what those words do. And that's one of the arts of Google Ads, which we really want to help you nail.
That's right. That's right. Well, so when should you use Google search ads? 3 main reasons. Number one, if you want to increase sales and drive conversions and inquiries. Also, if you want to generate leads, and if you want to drive potential customers to visit your website.
And this goes back to what you said about these are people who have intent, which is why they work much better for that kind of traffic.
That's right. Well, generally, Google search ads are great for lower funnel solutions. So driving sales and inquiries. And I think that's ultimately what every business cares the most about. Cool. Now that we spent some time talking about Google search, let's look at the other campaign type, which many people might not be as familiar with. So that's Google Display Network that offers you a world beyond the search. Google Display helps you promote your business when people are browsing online, watching YouTube videos, checking Gmail, or using mobile devices and apps. Google Display Network, or in short GDN, is a collection of websites, including Google-specific websites such as Google Finance, Google Blogger, YouTube, that shows ads. This network also includes mobile sites and applications. Well, here in front of you can see an example of Google Display Ads where an advertiser, in this case a retail player, shows an image of an image ad on the website that their potential customer is looking at. Advertisers can choose to display their advertisements in multiple formats and in a different range for a different range of audiences. Targeting ads so that they are shown to the right customers is an essential part of every successful display campaign. It also enables you to tailor your message to ensure it's relevant and important. When we talk about targeting, it's important to say that Google Display Network reaches 90% of the internet users worldwide across as many as 3 million different websites. So here, once again, what are the main benefits of Google Display Ads? Number one, promote your brand. Number two, generate product awareness, which speak more to the top of the funnel of your advertising goals. But then also within Google Display, you can have different types of targeting that can help you also increase sales and get more leads. Now, let me tell you a little bit more about a success story of one of our Aussie advertisers we've worked with. The owners of DAG in Bondi Junction in New South Wales started using Google Ads to promote their dog grooming and playtime services. Google Ads has helped them connect with the community of dog lovers around the shop, drive phone calls, and ultimately getting people into the store. The CEO of DAG said, "Since we started using Google Ads, we've doubled the size of the store," which is something we always love to hear.
Fantastic. And we've got some more information about this case study and a link to a Google video about this as well in the handout you can download for this particular video we're doing.
That's right.
Excellent. All right. Thank you for that, Alex. I hope you guys found that really useful. That's why I wanted Alex to go through and just give you some tips and tricks. And it gives you some idea of what we're trying to work on in the platform to actually help you do those things. It's such a fantastic platform, and we see good returns on Google day in, day out. So that's why we want to get you guys using it in the best way possible. So how do you get started with Google Ads on Metigy? Well, first of all, you're going to need a Google Ads account, which you can generate from just going to Google Ads, or when you actually go into Metigy and click connect your account. If you don't have one, we will link you up to the place to go and do that one. Mm-hmm. You'll need to put your credit card information into Google, just because we aren't managing that on our side at the moment. And then once you've done that, you can start creating your first ads in Google. Now, typically, like I said in the walkthrough, the approval process is about 24 hours at the moment. And I know Google's working to reduce that one. That's just to review your creative and make sure it complies with all the standards. And again, we'll help you with anything to try and ensure your ad doesn't ever need to be reviewed, or it'll go straight through. So that's, again, a useful time saver for you as a business. Now, we do have an extensive roadmap of features coming. I'm not going to cover them in this video. If you can't see it in the platform, it will be coming, and you can just ask us when we expect to deliver that feature, which I think is important to say, because we are rolling out features every day at the moment and making improvements and adjustments. So,
yeah, and we're looking forward to seeing them live. This is all very exciting, Greg.
I just want to thank Alex for joining me today. It's been very educational. I hope you guys got a lot out of it.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I hope it was a good use of your time, and right now you're ready to start actioning on the things we talked about here. Absolutely. And that you have a better understanding of the Google Ads ecosystem and the benefits for you as a business.
And in particular, how to use that through Metigy. And to help you with that, we've got a downloadable code, which is Google Ads Webinar, which will give you 3 months free on the platform if you haven't already signed up. Great. We'll see you again very soon with more tips on how to use Metigy to help you with your marketing.
Well, thank you for your time. Bye.
Bye, guys.